Hey, Dan, what's going on? Mike, what is happening? Can you guys hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up or yes if you can hear me. How you doing, Dan, anyhow? Awesome. Hey, Gene. Okay. I'm having issues. If anybody wants the link to come on, I'm having issues with that same quad that I had before. When the trims are centered and I go to launch the quad, it goes back towards motor number one and to the right. Even with I put brand new motors on there thinking that would solve the problem, but it didn't. Now, when I trim it out, trim my roll all the way to the left and my pitch all the way up, it'll launch fine. But I know that's not right. So I'm really not sure what to do now. I'm wondering, could it be an ESC issue? Could it be a firmware issue on the ESCs, or could it be a firmware issue on the board? Something's not right to where it wants to keep going back towards motor number one. So I don't know. And Dan, I went in and all my endpoints are good. They're good. I double checked them today. I had them set before, but I double checked them. They're right on. The endpoints are right on. Let's see. Now, here's a question I was wondering about. When I was messing with this before, and I calibrated the exhaust, accelerometer, and if the endpoints were not centered, if I had moved the endpoints and didn't put them back to center and I calibrated it, the gyros, would that mess it up? I believe I did, Mike. Maybe the bird needs rotated. Now, Dan, in ES, I'm not too familiar with BL Heli. I go in there and I can use the app BL Heli to reverse motors if I need to, change the direction of motors, and flash the firmware. That's about all I really know how to do on that. Yeah, the endpoints were just how I had them before. They are right on 1500. Now, what was I gonna say? I do have one more ESC I can put on here. Make sure your firmware is all in on each ESC. Okay, I'll go that. No, Damien, I have not, but I can check into that. Good to have you in here anyway, Damien. What's up, Blades FPV? The same on ESC, BL Heli. Well, if I flashed the firmware, I did each one individually to make sure they were all the same, but I'll go check that too. Now, the BL Heli I have is the Google Chrome app BL Heli, which so far has been working. I do have the other BL Heli downloaded, but it seems like it's very confusing and I haven't done a lot with it. Hold the drone and give it some throttle, and perhaps you can tell which arm of the quad is causing trouble. Well, I know when I go to launch it, it wants to go towards motor number one, back and to the right. That's cool, Damien. Yes, the firmware is the same on all the ESCs. But now, let me, on my other quad, Mellow Yellow, I have the exact same ESCs and I've had no issues. I'm thinking maybe I should take that bird, put it in BL Heli, see what firmware they have on it, and make sure this has the same, because I know I've upgraded these. Maybe it needs to go back to the original. Ed, are you making light of my situation? Justin, how are you doing? How you like that new quad? I did that before, Blades, with the other motors, and it didn't really do anything. And so I put brand new motors on it, and I just went out and flew it, and it did the same thing. So I know it's not a motor issue at this point. It's either got to be an ESC issue, firmware issue. Now, could it be the flight controller not telling the ESC what to do right? Put it on beta flight and look at each, when you arm each motor on the motors tab, yeah, see if you have any noise to see if all the motors sound the same, is what you're saying. Justin, it's doing the same thing it did before. I put these brand new motors on here, and when the trims are all centered, I give it throttle, it wants to float back to motor number 1, to the right and to the back. So, and it did that before I put the new motors on. So that's why I'm thinking it's probably not a motor issue at this point. It's doing the same thing even with new motors on there. So it's got to be something else. Well, then, if that was the case, it would be wonky every way, wouldn't it? I mean, my controls would be all jacked up. Roni, FPV, what's going on? Anubis machine, FC. You think it's the FC? Southern Sawyer. Maybe you have reversed backwards. Okay, it'll have a grid. Oh, in beta flight, okay. Now, if there's noise, could it be an ESC causing that noise? Dan? I did before, I didn't since I put these new motors on. Center your sticks. Yeah, when I have all the trim centered, it'll go back to motor number 1 upon launch. And then when I get it up in the air, it keeps wanting to go back. So I got to keep pushing it forward and to the left. So I can trim that out. I can trim it, my roll trim all the way to the left and my pitch all the way up, and then it'll launch straight up. But that shouldn't be doing that. That's what I'm wondering, Dan. If all else fails, the easiest thing to do is to replace this one ESC. And I do have one that I can use. It's the exact same ESC. I bought 9. So I've used 4 on another quad, 4 on this. So I do have 1 left that I could use. That would probably be the easiest. Hey, Ryan. That's what I'm thinking. Calibrate the accelerometer. Okay, I've done that, but I'll do that again and see if that'll help. Okay. So let me ask you this. Let's say I put this ESC on here. I put a new ESC on, and it still does it. What would you think would be the issue then? When I got this in the air and I got it trimmed out to where it was hovering, and I'd punch it, man, it would take off. It was flying smooth and nice. No, I just did line of sight. I didn't fly with goggles, FPV or nothing. I just out in the backyard wanting to check it out. So I think it's going to be a good flyer if I can just get that. Oh, probably the flight controller. Oh, crap. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to center the trims. I'm going to recalibrate the accelerometer, give it a try, see what happens. Well, I didn't put it in acro because I was just doing line of sight. I'd have to put my goggles on and go fly somewhere with it in acro to see what it does, where I have more room. Now, I will tell you this. When I had the other motors on there and I was having this issue, I would center it. I would trim it out to where it would launch. And when I flew it with goggles back then, it would still want to drift, and I was fighting it to keep it. It wasn't flying right in acro. I don't know. It's either the ESC or the flight controller. You bet it flies well in acro. Now what I can do, turn off the accelerometer. What I can do is center the sticks, center the trims, flip it in acro, and launch it, and see if it'll launch straight up or if it'll still favor that. That's an idea. I didn't think of that. I'll go through firmware and make sure it's fresh. I'll see it flash fresh. Make sure trim is at center. I did. Check all endpoints on configuration page. Right. Okay, I've done all that before with the other set of motors, but I'm thinking maybe I just need to do it again so I can say I did it. Okay, what can I expect if I turn off the accelerometer? Okay, Mike. All in that order? Okay. Firmwares. Now, what about flashing the firmware on the flight controller? Should I do that? Okay. Oh, all right. I fly in acro too, but when I was doing line of sight testing, I was just doing it in level modes, auto level mode. Okay. So Dan, you're saying yes, flash the flight controller firmware also. Yes, all fresh. Okay. Hover and acro. Now, the only thing I didn't, okay. The only reason why I didn't do it in acro is because I heard flying line of sight in acro is very hard and I didn't want to crash it. Maybe I should go out and try that. Just center the sticks, put it in acro instead of stabilized mode, and see what happens. Okay. So flash everything, try all that before replacing anything. And then, okay, I got you, Dan. I appreciate that. That's what I'll do. Right, I hear you, Justin. If I fly it, I will, but I may go out and just put it in acro and launch it off the ground to see if it'll launch straight up or if it'll still favor that motor number one, just to see. I didn't do that. All right, Dan, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it, man. This is just a short impromptu, try and get some. Yeah, no kidding, Justin. No, I don't want to do that either. I've never flown acro line of sight. Oh, really? Five-inch. Well, the only thing, Justin, is I don't have room here to do fly with goggles. I have to go to the field. Okay. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Something machine. Anubis machine. You think it'll be fine in acro? Okay. Cool, Mike. Southern Sawyer. I know that's right. I know where that's at. I don't know, Gene. Anubis machine. Just hover and acro. Okay, I'll try that. Before I do anything else, I'm just going to hover and acro. Then I'm going to come in. If that doesn't work, it disables accelerometers. Okay. I bet it is hard. And here's the problem. It's rained today, so the grass is soaking wet. I have some gravel that I was taking off in, so I don't want to have to crash in wet grass. Oh, this is just so frustrating. Adam, how are you? Nunya. I really thought when I put these new motors on today or last night and I finished them up today, I really thought that would fix the problem. If it hovers in acro, then the motors in ESC is fine. Okay. But I still don't understand what would cause it to do that in stabilize mode or angle mode if it does hover fine. I'll figure it out somehow, some way. But I just wanted to get some feedback. These motors are just budget motors. They're the DYS. They're the Samguk series. These are the Woo 2206, 2400 kb. They seem pretty punchy. The gyro is off on the flight controller. Okay, then how do I fix that? Just by calibrating it. All right, Ryan, I appreciate it. Something in the rates in the controller. My woman don't watch any of mine. You can try it, but so if the gyro is off on the flight controller, does the flight controller need to be replaced? I don't know. I never ran into this before. So after I do all the firmware flashing and calibrations, and if it's still doing it, I'm going to replace that one ESC. And if it still does it, then it has to be the flight controller. Oh, that's only if you want stabilized mode? Well, I don't want that. Oh, so that's why someone suggested, maybe it was you, Blades, to turn off the accelerometer. Do I only need that if I'm flying in stabilized mode? Oh, Blades, I need to give you a wrench, man. I'm sorry. Over here. Hey, I got you a wrench. Sorry, man. I didn't even realize. Okay, so it won't. So, Mike, it won't hurt to turn it off then, right? If all I want to do is fly an acro anyhow. Okay, so I can go ahead and turn that accelerometer off then in beta flight and see what happens. Nubis machine, I just gave you a wrench also. Okay, cool. It just means only acro. Well, that's cool. That's all I want to fly anyhow. Southern Sawyer, you don't have a wrench either. Man, I'm slacking. Well, I really appreciate all your guys' help. We'll get it figured out. Okay. Just don't make any sudden movements, right? Turn it all off. Now, before I do that, I'm going to have to make sure I center my trims again, too. Well, I appreciate it, man. Slow and easy. And I thank you guys for coming in. This ain't going to last very long. I just came on to try and get some answers, get some direction. I haven't heard anything, Justin. I saw that you had posted something about him, but I don't know. Haven't had time to watch it yet. I don't know what happened. Oh, I know, Ed. That's all right. I wouldn't expect anything less. That's cool. Okay. I will. If you see a video of a maiden flight, you know I got it figured out because I'm not going to maiden it until I get it figured out. So, yeah, I may go ahead and turn that accelerometer off, or I'll just flip it in acro first and see what happens. So let me ask you guys this. What if I put it in acro and I launch it and it still wants to favor motor number 1? Then it has nothing to do with the accelerometer then, right? That even points more towards the ESC or flight control issue. Okay, Justin. I appreciate it. I'll go check it out for sure. Okay, Blades. Man, I forgot your first name. I know I should know it, but Blades FPV. I'm sorry, I forgot your first name. And if you don't want to give it, that's fine. Okay. Well, I don't think it's a motor issue. Brand new motors. All right, that's what I'm going to do. Tony, that's right, Tony. All right. Tony, I appreciate all your help. Could be a short and an ESC. Hey, what's going on? Palmetto Moon. I'm trying to get some FPV help. Have you put a level on your new desk setup? No, I have not. I have not. Zebra in here? I didn't see Eber. Oh, there he is. Hey, Eber, I didn't see you come in. I'm sorry, man. It's me, Ernest T. How you doing, Kevin? I need to talk to you at some point about something, Kevin. Oh, 7:30 here. It's getting dark. I may close this out. Well, I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad you're doing okay. Okay. But if I'm flying in acro, it doesn't really matter. I don't have to calibrate it, do I? Or do I? Or ESC, and it did the exact same thing with those other motors. I put brand new motors on it today. Finished wiring up today. That's what I thought. So I really don't think it's a motor issue. It's doing the same thing with brand new motors. What's the chances of brand new motor? I mean, I know it happens, but I think I'm going to go out before it gets dark and go ahead and put it in acro and launch it and see what happens before it gets dark. I'm leaning towards an ESC right now. Send it. All right. Well, I got some things to work on now and to try and figure out. I'll do that, see what happens. I'll do all the firmware flashing, new it. And I will make sure all the ESCs have the same firmware on them. Erwin, the problem is when I launch this, it wants to go back towards motor number 1, to the right and to the back. And I put brand new motors on it today, and it did it before. So I'm trying to figure out why it's doing that. But I have not tried to launch it in acro, only stabilized mode. So I'm going to go ahead and try and launch it in acro and see what happens. Hey, two-stroke, what's going on? Just getting ready to get out of here. Adam, thank you very much. Kevin, thank you for coming in. Ed, thanks for your smart aleck remarks. Appreciate you, bro. Gene, Eber, Justin, all you guys. So, Blades, thank you. Okay, I do have a level. I will check it. I will find a way to get a level spot to do it. I hear you, Ed. All right, Kevin, I will. You think it's no problem in acro? Okay, I'm going to go find out right now, all right? I'm going to go do it. I'm going to go do it. See what happens. All right, guys, thanks a lot. I appreciate it very much. So before it gets dark, I'm going to go out and do that. Done what before? Oh. Make sure, okay. Hey, Jim, what's going on? I'm just getting ready to get out of here before it gets dark and do some testing on this quad. So, man, I hate to end this so quick because I like chatting with everybody. But I'm on a mission. All right, Wakey. Oh, we're just leaving, homie. Homie Paul. Ryan. All right. Anubis machine. Anubis. All right. Thank you, Two Stroke. All right. The mission is its top priority. But I would like to do this more often just because I'm still flipping newbie and I like to get some some seasoned FPV flyers in here like we had tonight, giving me some direction. So I appreciate that, guys. I'm going to try and come on live a little bit more when I have more time. But all right, I'm going to go outside real quick and try and launch this in Acro and see what happens. So, all right. Thanks, everyone, for all your help. I appreciate it. Drone Pool, signing out.